So many books, so little time. Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible. If you end up with a boring, miserable life because you listen to your mom, your dad, your teacher, your priest, or some guy on television telling you how to do your shit, then you deserve it. If you want to get laid, go to college. If you want an education, go to the library. A mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it is not open. Jazz isn't dead. It just smells funny. I never set out to be weird. It was always other people who called me weird. Without music to decorate it, time is just a bunch of boring production deadlines or dates by which bills must be paid. Definition of rock journalism: people who can't write, doing interviews with people who can't think, in order to prepare articles for people who can't read. There is more stupidity than hydrogen in the universe, and it has a longer shelf life. Drop out of school before your mind rots from exposure to our mediocre educational system. Forget about the senior prom and go to the library and educate yourself if you've got any guts. Some of you like pep rallies and plastic robots who tell you what to read. A drug is not bad. A drug is a chemical compound. The problem comes in when people who take drugs treat them like a license to behave like an asshole. The illusion of freedom will continue as long as it's profitable to continue the illusion. At the point where the illusion becomes too expensive to maintain, they will just take down the scenery, they will pull back the curtains, they will move the tables and chairs out of the way, and you will see the brick wall at the back of the theater. It's better to have something to remember than anything to regret. My best advice to anyone who wants to raise a happy, mentally healthy child is, keep him or her as far away from a church as you can. Art is making something out of nothing and selling it. Music is the only religion that delivers the goods. There's a big difference between kneeling down and bending over. Communism doesn't work because people like to own stuff. The United States is a nation of laws, badly written and randomly enforced. I have an important message to deliver to all the cute people all over the world. If you're out there and you're cute, maybe you're beautiful. I just want to tell you something. There's more of us ugly motherfuckers than you are. Hey, why? So watch out. Take the Kama Sutra. How many people died from the Kama Sutra as opposed to the Bible? Who wins? Government is the entertainment division of the military-industrial complex. All the good music has already been written by people with wigs and stuff. There is no such thing as a dirty word. Nor is there a word so powerful that it's going to send the listener to the lake of fire upon hearing it. You can't be a real country unless you have a beer and an airline. It helps if you have some kind of football team or some nuclear weapons, but in the very least you need a beer. Tobacco is my favorite vegetable. The essence of Christianity is told us in the Garden of Eden history. The fruit that was forbidden was on the tree of knowledge. The subtext is, all the suffering you have is because you wanted to find out what was going on. You could be in the Garden of Eden if you had just kept your fucking mouth shut and hadn't asked any questions. Some scientists claim that hydrogen, because it is so plentiful, is the basic building block of the universe. I dispute that. I say there is more stupidity than hydrogen, and that is the basic building block of the universe. Modern Americans behave as if intelligence were some sort of hideous deformity. The most important thing to do in your life is to not interfere with somebody else's life. Anybody who wants religion is welcome to it, as far as I'm concerned. I support your right to enjoy it. However, I would appreciate it if you exhibited more respect for the rights of those people who do not wish to share your dogma, rapture, or necrodestination. May your shit come to life and kiss you on the face. I like to watch the news, because I don't like people very much, and when you watch the news, if you ever had an idea that people were really terrible, you could watch the news and know that you're right. Writing about music is like dancing about architecture. Republicans stand for raw, unbridled evil and greed and ignorance smothered in balloons and ribbons. The more boring a child is, the more the parents, when showing off the child, receive adulation for being good parents, because they have a tame child creature in their house. I wrote a song about dental floss, but did anyone's teeth get cleaner? A wise man once said, never discuss philosophy or politics in a disco environment. A true Zen saying, nothing is what I want. Drugs will turn you into your parents. I think it's really tragic when people get serious about stuff. It's such an absurdity to take anything really seriously. I make an honest attempt not to take anything seriously. I worked that attitude out about the time I was 18. I mean, what does it all mean when you get right down to it? What's the story here? Being alive is so weird. The most important thing in art is the frame. For painting, literally, for other arts, figuratively, because without this humble appliance, you can't know where the art stops and the real world begins. You have to put a box around it because otherwise, what is that shit on the wall? Anything, anytime, any place for no reason at all, or AAAFNRAA. If your children ever find out how lame you really are, they'll murder you in your sleep. Don't eat the yellow snow. Well, I'm not here to impinge on anybody else's lifestyle. If I'm in a place where I know I'm going to harm somebody's health or somebody asks me to please not smoke, I just go outside and smoke. But I do resent the way the non-smoking mentality has been imposed on the smoking minority. Because, first of all, in a democracy, minorities do have rights. And, second, the whole pitch about smoking has gone from being a health issue to a moral issue, and when they reduce something to a moral issue, it has no place in any kind of legislation, as far as I'm concerned. Nobody looks good with brown lipstick on. Politics is the entertainment branch of industry. A composer is a guy who goes around forcing his will on unsuspecting air molecules, often with the assistance of unsuspecting musicians. The only difference between a cult and a religion is the amount of real estate they own. The price of meat has just gone up and your old lady has just gone down. The rock and roll business is pretty absurd, but the world of serious music is much worse. Schools train you to be ignorant with style. They prepare you to be a usable victim for a military-industrial complex that needs manpower. As long as you're just smart enough to do a job and just dumb enough to swallow what they feed you, you're going to be all right. So I believe that schools mechanically and very specifically try and breed out any hint of creative thought in the kids that are coming up.